Compare yourself to like who you were yesterday and who you were a year ago. If you start looking at that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go, wow, I've actually done a lot. You got this. And the world needs you. It needs that special sauce that only you have. Well, welcome back to the Professional Rule Breaker Show. I am your host, KathyWalterhouse, and I want to welcome all of my fellow rule breakers that are here today because we're going to dive into something. It's a topic that's going to resonate with a lot of us out there, including me. It's an issue that I'm going to raise my hand that I have a problem with this too. So I thought I'd bring it up. So it starts with this question. Why do we, especially as entrepreneurs, why do we underestimate ourselves? And what can we do to kind of rise above all of this doubt that we're having? So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So as entrepreneurs, I know that we wear a ton of hats, all from being like the innovator to the marketing person to the finance head. Even if you work in a company, whether it's a big corporation or a high growth company, you always are juggling all these different roles. So when we do that, and we're doing all this juggling and all these things are going on, we kind of tend to lose sight of what's important. And most of all, we lose sight of our own worth. So let's figure out how we can change that. So the first thing I want to talk about is don't assume that everyone knows what you know. I know that probably seems really obvious, and it's something that you think, oh, I don't do this. But most people out there, most entrepreneurs really think, hey, I know how to do this. And if I know how to do this, doesn't everybody know how to do this? You think everything that you do is really obvious. But remember, it's all about your journey. It's your experience. It's your unique skill set. And with that, you're the only one that can give that perspective that can be really, really invaluable to others. So what's second nature to you could really be a game changer for somebody else. So I want you to really think about that, because I'm in that same boat. I'm kind of like, well, doesn't everybody know how to do this? So it makes me think, well, maybe it's not really worth anything. So that same thought goes through so many of your heads, I bet. I'd love to hear some feedback on that, because I'm wondering if you had those same thoughts. So you got to really start thinking about how unique all your experiences are, how unique all your skills are, and that only you possess that. And that insight is gold to other people. All right. Number 2, you got to stop comparing. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else. And in this day and age, it's so easy, right? With the digital age that we're in, we're bombarded with highlight reels and shorts and everything from entrepreneurs on social media. Maybe it's people that you work with. Maybe it's people that you don't know, but you see them from afar and you're like, wow, they made it, to their level of success in this amount of time. But, comparing your chapter to somebody else is really more than anything else a recipe for disaster. It discourages you. So instead of doing that, just measure your journey instead against like your growth. So compare yourself to like who you were yesterday and who you were a year ago. If you start looking at that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go, wow, I've actually done a lot of different things. And I'm guilty of that too, because sometimes when I'm have all these plans and have everything scheduled for the weekend, I know exactly what it is that I'm going to do. And somehow I get derailed for whatever reason it might be. It can make me feel bad. But then I have to go back and I remember, wow, look at all these things that I've already done this week that moves the needle forward. I start focusing on that one thing. And once I do, it really makes a big difference. Okay. Number 3, you got to start celebrating the wins, no matter how small they are. Like it could be like, hey, I just got a new client, which I did yesterday. Or I just finished this module of this course that I'm making. Or I just laid out my plan of action. Every victory, doesn't matter how big or small, it deserves some acknowledgement. So celebrate those moments, because when you do that, it makes you feel better. It keeps you motivated. And in addition to that, it serves as a big reminder of what your capabilities are. Because I know you've already achieved so much in your life, and it's time to give yourself some credit. Okay. Number 4, my last point that I want to make, and it's a big one. It's a really big one. Focus. So much of the time, we really have to redirect our focus because it's really easy to feel, I guess, disheartened, when things don't go your way. I'll give you an example. I was sitting with some entrepreneurs who are massively successful. And the conversation turned to all the things that was going wrong in their business, which was kind of astonishing to me. First off, it was a little bit eye-opening. But secondly, they were focusing on all of the things that were going wrong and how they felt that they weren't, in essence, good enough, because it was almost like it was clouding their vision. And these people were really, really accomplished people. They really should be celebrating all the amazing stuff that they've done. But instead, they were just channeling all their energy into identifying what wasn't working instead of flipping the script. It's channeling all the energy on what's working for you, what's working for your business, and what you truly desire. Because when you focus on those things, the things that are working, and yet throw away the stuff and all the things that aren't working, and change your focus onto the things that are working so that you can really spend your time there, the things that are making you money, the things you have fun at. When you do that, everything changes. You start bringing in more revenue. You start having more fun. You start feeling better about yourself. So that's what we need to do. Stop focusing on the obstacles. Instead, just fixate on all the possibilities and the things that are working so that you can have this amazing path ahead. So, kind of in summary, all my friends out there, the journey of an entrepreneur is like so unique, isn't it? We have all these moments of self-doubt. You have to remember your worth, the value that you bring, and the difference that you're making. Because I'm going to tell you this, you got this. And the world needs you. It needs that special sauce that only you have. It needs that special blend of only you can offer, that magic that you can offer. So think about that. Take your magic that you have, and like I said before, think of it as a stone that you're going to throw into a stream and you're going to make this giant ripple effect. You're going to make this big difference in the world. And it's only going to be done in the way that you can do it. So you've got this. Focus on the great things, focus on the things that are working, and you'll be amazed what a difference this will make. So again, I want to thank you for turning into this episode of The Professional Rule Breaker. And just remember, just embrace every day and every part of your journey, because that is what makes you successful and makes you who you are. And then, of course, don't forget to add a little dose of breaking the rules and thinking outside the box. So until next time, my friends, I want you to keep shining and keep breaking those rules. Love you all.